So, if I could somehow go all the way back to the days and weeks leading up to my very first day in the classroom, I would want to know this one thing. So, welcome to Teacher Talk. And if you haven't met me yet, my name is John. And Teacher Talk is a faith forward organization where we combine biblical wisdom with research and evidence based strategies in order to restore joy to the classroom, one teacher at a time, because we simply don't think teaching should be this difficult. So, I want to take this opportunity and be the very first one to welcome you to the teaching profession. But more than that, I want to welcome you to the classroom because it's in the classroom where the magic happens. It's in the classroom where we get to impact the lives and minds of young students, where we can take on the mantra of Krista McCullough, who says, I touch the future because I teach. And that is a great privilege and responsibility. So if I could somehow hop in a time machine and go all the way back to the days and weeks leading up to my first day in the classroom, I would want to know, how do you keep your sanity in such a chaotic situation? So the very first thing that I would do is I would use the time that I have left in this summer leading up to the first day of class to have my first 9 weeks fully planned out. So by far, the hardest thing that a teacher has to do is walk into the classroom every single day and present engaging content. We walk in, there's 22, 26, but sometimes 32 little students right there, with each with a mind, and somehow we have the task of having to engage them all. And that is a difficult thing to do. Now, I know that the idea of lesson planning flies kind of in the face of conventional wisdom that says the hardest thing to do is to manage your classroom. And I want you to know that classroom management is absolutely important, but the number one classroom management strategy that you can put in place is being able to teach from bell to bell. If you can have yourself planned out to where you walk into the classroom and when the bell rings, you start teaching and you're able to teach all the way to the last bell, you will reduce 80% of the classroom problems and classroom behaviors that most teachers encounter. And so what the research indicates is that there are 4 things that being well planned out 9 weeks ahead of time will do for you. Number one, it reduces opportunities for misbehavior. Number two, it maximizes learning time. Number three, it improves transitions. And number four, teacher-student relationships are enhanced. And of all of the things on that list, the number one thing is that it enhances student-teacher relationships. And you wonder why? Because the students are engaged in learning and not engaged in a power struggle or some sort of conflict. So another thing that being planned 9 weeks ahead will do for you is it will absolutely save you, because there's going to come times when things pop up and they're going to steal your time. And the time that always gets stolen, you don't lose. It doesn't steal classroom time. It's going to steal your time. And the time that you end up losing is your planning time. But when you're planned well far in advance, you're ready for the unforeseen and it doesn't knock you off track. So here are 4 advantages of being planned 9 weeks ahead of time. Number one, it reduces stress and anxiety. Number two, it provides clear vision for what you want to accomplish. Number three, allows for flexibility. And number four, it improves your confidence. Now, I just want to give you a word of caution without trying to sound like I'm contradicting myself. As much as you want to be planned up for 9 weeks, you're still going to have to remain flexible, because there are going to be times where you're going to have to change things. You're going to see and you're going to be like, okay, the thing that I planned right here, that wasn't so good, so I'm going to have to make a change. Or you're going to recognize that one group of students is advancing faster than another group of students, and so you're going to have to switch gears. All right, making flexible changes in course is a whole lot different than having to plan from scratch. So planning prepares you to enter the classroom, but classroom expectations are what make you successful in the classroom. So the second thing that I would do to keep from losing my sanity is I would take 5 to 7 minutes every single day to teach kids the expectations for 4 weeks. Now, I know that that's completely counterintuitive and that's not what we want to do. We want to jump right into the curriculum because and there's some truth to that because there's more curriculum to teach than there is time to teach. And I understand that. But I want to push back on that thought process just a little bit. And here's what I mean by that. I want you to maybe think about what problem is it that you would rather deal with? Would you rather lose 5 to 7 minutes of instructional time a day teaching expectations for 4 weeks? Or would you rather lose 10 to 12 minutes per day the entire year because you're dealing with minor disruptions? So in an article in Education Today, the writer says the following: do not feel rushed to transition into the curriculum. After a few days, you may feel pressured to jump into all aspects of the curriculum. The time that you take in the first weeks of school will benefit your structures and routines throughout the rest of the year. So you would think that that's a no-brainer, except it's not. And the reason why is because there is a lot of stuff that has to be accomplished in the classroom, and we want to jump right into it and go headlong and get going. But taking the time to set the expectations is extraordinarily important, and it will save you time in the long run. Now, you probably already have some expectations, but if you don't, I went ahead and I'm going to share with you my PowerPoint that I use in my classroom, and I'm going to give you the 4 P's of expectations. Number 1, be prompt. Number 2, be prepared. Number 3, be a participant. And number 4, be pristine. Now, those are extraordinarily simple, but I take each one of those multiple times and I teach multiple different things. What it means to be on time, not just for class, but also for other things. What it means to be pristine, or what it means to be prepared, and spend time teaching kids and showing them this is what I want you to do every day whenever you come into the classroom. Now, I realize that you may not want those 4, or you may want more than 4. It's just my personal preference to be with 4. But what the research actually demonstrates is that there shouldn't be any more than 5. When you create your expectations, keep the following 3 things in mind. Number 1, they need to be concise, easy to remember. They need to be clear, easily understood. And you got to be consistent, meaning that they have predictable outcomes and they are reinforced positively when upheld. Now, a moment ago, we said that planning prepares you to enter the classroom. Expectations prepare you to be successful in the classroom. And number 3, boundaries will prepare you to be successful for your entire career. So the third thing that I would do to keep from losing my sanity is I would create non-negotiable boundaries. So burnout is a serious and systemic issue in education. Right now, the research indicates that about 59% of teachers feel burned out. 66% of teachers say that they would walk out of the classroom right now if they had a different opportunity. And I want you to think about that. That is over half of the nation's teachers saying, hey, we are burned out, or hey, if we get the opportunity, we're going to walk out of here. And after 2 decades, almost 2 decades in education, I have watched multiple teachers walk out of the classroom because they were simply burnt out. But what I want you to hear me is that they didn't set boundaries. You have the opportunity right out the gate to set non-negotiable boundaries that in the long run will help you. So here are 3 things that boundaries will do for you. Number 1, boundaries help prevent fatigue and burnout. Number 2, clear boundaries contribute to better work-life balance. Number 3, boundaries are a form of self-care and self-preservation. So one of the questions that you may have that right now is, well, how do I set boundaries, or what boundaries should I set? And I just want to say that we set boundaries, I think, based upon the things that are important to us. For instance, just off the top of my head, if you like Tuesday night trivia, then you should set a boundary, block it off on your calendar and say, hey, whatever goes on today, today I'm showing up at trivia. So here's some examples of some boundaries that you could set that would be absolutely wonderful to you. Now remember, they're just suggestions. You don't have to take them, but they're pretty good boundaries. The very first boundary is I'm only going to work my contract hours on Tuesday and Friday. On Tuesdays and Fridays, when the bell rings and my contract hour is over, I'm going home. I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to spend time with my friends. I'm going to do things that I like. I'm going to enjoy my hobby. I'm going to go to the garden. Whatever it is that you're going to do, that's what you go do. Number two, I'm only going to work on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm only going to work till 5 p.m. I'm not going to check any email after that. I'm not going to take any parent phone calls. I'm not going to take any administration phone calls after 5 p.m. No grading, no educational work after 5 p.m. Number three, I'm going to fully disengage from all educational work for 24 hours, 1 day a week. Now, I know that that's a difficult one, and so it's just my suggestion that you pick up at 6 p.m. on Friday and go to 6 p.m. on Saturday, and you have zero thoughts about education. You don't do any work as it relates to education. You simply lay it down and you forget about it for 24 hours. And number four, learn to use the power of the word no. When an administrator or somebody else comes to you and they want to put extra work on top of you, you just simply need to look at them and say, hey, listen, I'm so glad that you thought of me, but I'm going to have to decline that offer right now because the best thing that I can be doing for my students is planning because they need to learn. I don't know what you think about those boundaries. You may not like them. You may like them. You can adopt them or you can kick them to the side. But what you can't do is you can't go into the school year without non-negotiable boundaries. Go ahead, sit down, pick up your calendar, look at August to December, and begin to plan out your non-negotiable boundaries. Just how it is that you're going to work it out. Get it on the calendar and follow through with it. Now, teacher, I have no idea where you're at on this journey, and that's why Teacher Talk created a community, and it's just for you. You can get the link right down in the description box, and in 2 minutes, you can be a part of the Teacher Talk community where you can be encouraged week after week after week, and you can join hundreds of other teachers who are a part of the Teacher Talk community. Also, down in the description box, there's other resources down there for you. They're free, they're 100% free, and they're always free. So go check them out, get them. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't given us a like, please give us a like and share this with your friends. Also, down in the description box, Teacher Talk also has a podcast. It's called Teacher Talk with John. We'd appreciate it if you'd click the link, go over and listen, and go over and subscribe to our podcast where we send out weekly encouragement to teachers. Now, if you happen to be a veteran teacher watching this thing just to see if I know what I'm talking about, that's cool. But if you're also thinking about quitting, you might want to go watch this video because that's what YouTube says do right now. And as always, go ahead and subscribe and like. But more than that, we want you to stay strong and keep teaching.